Ruslan.
A lot of folks are asking about this idea of niches and how many niches. And there's kind of two different paradigms. I got a course coming, guys, but there's a training on finding your YouTube niche below. It's free. Sean has all kinds of cool courses on this kind of stuff. There's two paradigm thoughts. And one thought is kind of the Gary V model. Try as many niches as you want. Infuse as much of your personality as you want. That is kind of more or less what I do. I don't do one niche and just talk about it a lot. I do a variety of things. Yesterday, I had somebody talking about Second Amendment rights on my channel. And you guys are like, Ruslan, I thought this was a Christian channel. We talked about it from the paradigm of a Christian worldview. I talk about fitness. I talk about my faith a lot, right? And then there's the other paradigm, which is more the Patrick Bet-David valuetainment. Hey, find one niche and just go all in. And they've built valuetainment as, I think, the number one, ranking term when you search entrepreneur on YouTube. Valuetainment comes up, right? So these two different paradigms, and a lot of you guys are asking, like, how do you process this? Sean, what are your thoughts? For me, I knew I wanted to infuse as much of my personality as possible, and I thought that I had to give that up because of the model that a lot of people had used. Just do one thing really well and pound it home. But when I went to your conference, I sat with the people, and you made sure I sat with the folks at vidIQ, and they were the ones that gave me permission to be like, cool, man, like, you don't got to do it one way. Like, if you want to build a brand around your personality and your values, dude, go for it. Just the big idea back then was like, just do thumbnails. Let's give this thing. Just do thumbnails. Just stop being lazy and do thumbnails. So I went that direction of doing a variety of different things. What is your idea in terms of this niche? How many people can try different niches? Should they do multiple niches? Should they do one thing, right? I think you probably will have a more balanced answer than mine. So just like, yeah, infuse your personality and everything. I think it's a slower burn the way I did it. I think it takes way longer the way I did it. But I want to hear your thoughts on this.
You said it right. I think that you have to discern what season you're in. First of all, if you have like no clue, it's not a bad idea to just experiment. Like, we encourage people to start before you're ready, punch fear in the face, and just press record. And when I look back at my Sean KD channel, I have cooking videos where I'm cooking shish kebab. I've got amazing Spider-Man review. I vlogged for a few days. I was all over, like, but it was part, and that didn't hit really. It had some success. I learned a lot. But I got clarity by just doing and taking action. You can't steer a parked car. And you should invest in courses and books and podcasts and subscribe to this YouTube channel. And you should have all that. But if it's just information but not action, the information doesn't actually sink in. It's learned by doing. So that's why just start a project. See, we're afraid of the regret of, well, what if I did like 250 videos and like that wasn't even the actual thing? Yeah, that's Jeff and my Think International channel. It's 250 videos. But it was one of the best things because we learned so much. So phase one, try things, pick something and just do it. I think if you want to narrow it down, you've got to ask yourself the three questions is, what are you passionate about, but what are you also proficient at? And then what's also profitable if you don't want this to just be a hobby. So it's a lot of like, that's essentially a framework where you look for thematic overlap between a list of your passions. I'm passionate about singing and music. I'm passionate about cameras and tech. I'm passionate about Dogecoin or cryptocurrencies. You look at the thematic overlap, and then you look at proficiency, music and singing. Well, in the shower, maybe. And if I've got some Maverick City, then yes. But if it's just, when I turn it down and you start hearing my voice, that's not my gifts. It's not going to be a very good YouTube channel. I'm really passionate about it, and it could be profitable, but like, that's not the proficiency piece. Check, X that out. Crypto, I'm interested in it, but I'm not great at that. Oh, video. And well, I've been doing video since 2003 and I've learned these skill sets. Okay. So I'm passionate about it. I also have proficiency. Profitable. It's identifying, okay, how will this be sustainable? If that's what you want it to be, you need money for the mission. So that takes education, because you probably can't just make that up out of your mind, but you go, okay, how are entertainment channels doing this? How are musicians doing this? How are people that their niche works really good for affiliate marketing? And then you sort of reverse engineer a business model so that you can have money for the mission. So if you can find the intersection of those things, I really believe it's your sweet spot in the middle there. And the final thing I would suggest is some level of awareness of the secret to success in YouTube, of any like sustainable success, is making sure you're in a proven and a profitable niche. And what that means is that it's verifiable. What does that mean? It means that competition's a good thing. It means that if you can't find another YouTube channel in the niche you want to go into, it actually might be evidence you're either super smart and about to just pioneer something, or it's not super proven. And so, for example, we work with a lot of people, and we've done it ourselves, that do faceless channels, meaning they're not even in the videos. They take a proven niche and they have somebody write a script, do a voiceover. They use B-roll. And I'm talking about like Roblox channels. You know how big Roblox and Minecraft is? It is unfathomably large how big some of those niches are. So what would shock you is, again, this is not like maybe your ministry or your calling, but it could be the way you make tents in terms of funding your ministry in a modern YouTube world. Is a profitable or a proven niche is a niche where there's a massive audience, and there might be massive competition, but there's just a lot of hunger and desire for that content. Personal finance channels do amazing. Crypto channels, they do well. Stock channels, they do well. A lot of different gaming niches do well. A lot of things in Christianity. People want Bible study. They want like a lot of things in chill hop music, competition there, but people are doing chill hop live streams all day long. Like it's proven. Is that something you're passionate about? My friend Roberto Blake just started a niche. He got a designer for all the graphics, and he actually got like a beat maker for everything else. And he's doing the live streams, and he started his own kind of chill hop as a separate deal. He's pioneering and bringing here's actually what I would say. Don't be trying to think something from scratch. Bring a fresh take or fresh excellence or just a fresh branding to something. And the last thing, Ruslan, is it's not just niche like personal finance. It's also the audience. So what I mean is your niche might not just be, it's not like, oh, I'm just a personal finance channel. The niche is the group of people that you're talking to. And this is where you're not as variety as people think. People make the mistake of just variety. It's not random. You're talking to a particular group of people who are passionate. Like, I'm one of your super fans, man. I mean, like, just watching, you're right. I don't click on every video, but I'm subscribed. So I'm like, oh, that looks interesting. Oh, cool. I want an update on that situation. Okay, that looks dope. Okay, awesome. That guest is on, because it's like-minded people. I think of it like, pick a niche like a magazine, GQ magazine. Inside of GQ is fashion tips, is what movies you should check out during the summer, is drink recipes, and is advice on how to be a gentleman, and an interview with an athlete, and we can learn the principles on leadership and manhood. But GQ is for a particular person. So the variety isn't as random as an outside observer might have. Like, I just want to talk about whatever. What's the cohesive theme? And a lot of times the niche actually could be the person you're called to reach. And this is where you could really break out, because yes, personal finance is crowded, but if you were to create a channel as a single mom who's on the grind and hustling and really figuring out how to get a hold of your finances, as a personal finance channel for single moms, that thing just became like super powerful, because now it's the audience that you're niching down to. And the broad information of Graham Stephan, love him, is like, well, I'm not in Graham Stephan's situation, dude. I'm a single mom. I'm trying to make it work, but I'm also trying to save and invest. So now you become like the perfect answer to a smaller group of people, rather than competing in even a broad niche that seems clear.
And that smaller group of people can grow. That smaller group of people can expand. That smaller group of people can be bigger than you think it is. And I think that's the beautiful part about what you're saying, is that leading out of your niche is more so about leading out of areas of expertise and life experience, right? So there's a lot of stuff I don't talk about. I don't talk about physics. I don't talk about biology. There's way more things I don't talk about. But I think what you're saying is leading from experience and from some degree of expertise. And if you can do that, then in there lies the ability to make a lot of content and reach a specific type of person that I think will really go deeper with you than just like the surface level. And so I love that. I think that's really that's really good. Okay, let's do one more really good questions. Someone said physics in the gospel. Yeah, I don't do a ton of apologetic stuff, even though I'm into it. I think there's channels that are better than me, or I'd rather bring those people on to talk about it. And the thing that
proficiency, like, you have to have self-awareness of your sweet spot.
Yeah.
And by the way, that's a huge unlock, though. You can bring people on.
Yes.
So you can also be, if you know GQ is like, are they just going to create a leadership article on, whatever, or are they going to interview Tom Brady? And obviously Tom Brady's going to come with weight. He's going to come like whatever. And so the idea that also there's the knowledge, there's the results expert, but there's also the knowledge broker, and there's the reporter. And this is also in this kind of industry of creating even online courses. So the reporter is Think and Grow Rich. People think like the most famous personal development book of all time is Think and Grow Rich. And the Napoleon Hill was not the guy who built big businesses. He interviewed the guys who did. So that's the reporter he was reporting on. The knowledge broker, this is interesting. If you've ever seen a child, if you type in how to be motivated, nobody is ranking for like talking head. Wow, they're such a motivational speaker. It's all compilations. It's a whole nother conversation about fair use of other people's content. Evan Carmichael chops up other people's content. We've all seen it. Dun, 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 dun. Tony Robbins is speaking. It's like Les Brown, Will Smith's like, you better, like they just put these compilations together. Yeah. Well, that's actually, you're chopping up and taking, you're the knowledge broker of other knowledge. And there's ways to do that in fair use. We don't have time to go into it, I suppose. Yeah. And then there's actually the results expert. And the powerful thing about YouTube and what I love about this industry is actually imagine if anybody doesn't know Evan Carmichael, again, he'll do like Tony Robbins' top 10 rules of success or Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos' top 10 rules of success. And he actually is making compilations of other people's content, but it's an original work because he's bringing it from diverse sources and he's actually introducing it. But think about it. If you're the knowledge broker first, it's going to transform you because you're immersing yourself in learning from others. Then if you're the reporter and you start a video podcast and you actually spend time like Napoleon Hill, immersing yourself and learning from the experts in the field that you want to grow in, that's going to accelerate you even more. And then in the process of going through those steps, by step 3, now you're the results expert because you've built the way through it, assuming you've put it out there. Now you've actually grown and you've monetized and you've learned and you've made mistakes and you need to hire people and you've whatever. So you've become that business owner, entrepreneur, whatever your vision is in your own right. Anyways, no rabbit trail there. But
no, that's good. And I think for me, like the stuff that I initially wanted to do wasn't the stuff that worked. I pivoted to doing interview style stuff on the road because I was traveling. So I had all these shows and I'd just be like, might as well bring my mobile setup and do interviews. That is something that I made people care because I covered people they cared about. And then I started finding topics that people cared about. And then once I pivoted into the more faith-based niche away from just interviews and marketing and music, that's kind of the thing I started in. The faith-based stuff just by and large, that's what people wanted to hear from me, right? It was just the way I thought about culture and, scripture and Bible. And so sometimes, like you said, it's not necessarily going to be the thing you are good at in the moment. It's you walking through a process of curating, of bringing on other voices, of building a business. And then on the other side, now we can talk about, hey, this is how Sean built a 7-figure business. And you could do a course on that because you've built a 7-figure business, right? And the same thing with I got the YouTube thing. I built a YouTube channel and there you do a course. So who you become on the other side of that is going to add immense value versus just jumping. Because nobody cared what I thought about business and marketing because I wasn't a great business person or a great marketer yet, or at least I didn't do it at a degree where people knew me enough to care. But once I actually built something, then folks started to hear about other things. So I think that's really good. Sean, thank you so much. This has been incredible. Wow, this was great. Guys, here's the outro. Hey, thank you so much for making it through the end of this video. If you enjoyed it and maybe you're feeling inspired to jump into some YouTube creator content, maybe you're an expert in the field, I have a super dope course coming very soon. No, it's not a $5,000 or $1,000 mastermind course. It's going to be extremely affordable. So that's on the way, but we want to give you guys a free training and PDF that's available right now. So be sure to opt into that in the description below or in the cards. Joshua the King came down and bore it all. Yeah. Conversations front of the fireplace. All of my mistakes how do I erase? Wanna operate at a higher pace. Birth pains causing the body to dilate on the first name.